G'day viewers, Retro Man here, and I'm back with another episode of Movie. That's right, this movie magazine from Down Under. What a cover. I'll be doing a walkthrough. Stay tuned for more.
Coming to you from a basement studio somewhere down under. It's the 80s Show with Australia's Retro Man. On tonight's show, Retro Man dusts off his magazine collection and shows you issue 3 of Movie 81. Well, what are we waiting for? Lights, camera, Retro Man!
G'day viewers, Retro Man here, and welcome to the 80s Show. Now today we'll be continuing on with our movie magazine series. I have Movie 81 number 3 here. It has Mel Gibson on the cover in his Australian film Gallipoli. We've also got Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli from Arthur, and we've got the Australian actress Judy Davis here in a gritty little film. So it's got a great cover, this one. Let's check it out. So this is the cover of Movie 81 number 3. And Mel Gibson there has got the cover shot. Great film, that one, Gallipoli. And we've got Arthur, and we've also got Judy Davis. So let's check it out, guys. We've got a great poster here of Jamie Lee Curtis from Road Games. That was a film she did in Australia. And what do we got here? Friday the 13th Part 2 is on the table of contents. Moving right along, we've got Altered States. This was a weird film with William Hurt. And we've got more on Altered States with William Hurt, and we've got Clash of the Titans. I mean, that was a big film. Ray Harryhausen and all these amazing creatures. And Laurence Olivier was in there. We've got Ursula Andress and others. And that's a little bit more there on Clash of the Titans. Harry Hamlin played the lead in that. And Burgess Meredith from Rocky was also in there. Maggie Smith, etc. And we've got a great poster here of James Clavell Shogun with Richard Chamberlain. And we've got this movie here called The Fan. This is a drama. And Lauren Bacall was in that film. And we've got Honky Tonk Freeway. Man, Beau Bridges, Beverly D'Angelo and others. This is a wild film. It has a rhino on a highway, and there's a lot of actors in this one, and it's a really wacky, unusual comedy. I mean, it's almost a little bit Robert Altman-ish, this film, even though John Schlesinger directed this one. He was the guy that gave us Midnight Cowboy, but this is a really odd film. And there's a bit more on it there. William Devane was the lead. Terry Garr was also in it. And this is an Australian film called Winter of Our Dreams with Brian Brown and Judy Davis. Judy Davis was on the cover. And this is a gritty film that looks at Sydney's red light district, and which was kind of King's Cross, you could call it that, in the 80s. And very interesting film, that one. And we've got a reissue of Gone with the Wind. I mean, look at that. Clark Gable. I mean, look at this guy. And they've got some great shots there of Gone with the Wind. This was an epic film for its time, and it played on cinema screens again in Australia in the early 80s. And they just kept bringing it back over the years. And we've got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with Mr. Kirk Douglas. This was a Walt Disney film, and once again this was a reissue. They just kept bringing this film back. It was directed by Richard Fleischer, who was a great filmmaker, and very interesting film, that one. A Disney film. Also James Mason is in it. And we've got Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, Harrison Ford. This was a game changer, this film, directed by Steven Spielberg. I mean, adventure was back in a big way, and Raiders was just your ticket back in 81. So we've also got a page here on Puberty Blues, a gritty Australian coming-of-age film about the surf culture in Australia. We've got a poster here for Caligula, starring Malcolm McDowell. That was a very controversial film. We've got a comedy here called All Night Long. This one kind of didn't work that well. I mean, you had Gene Hackman, Barbara Streisand, and Dennis Quaid. A bit of an odd comedy, that one. And we've got more cigarette advertisements and Gallipoli. This is that big film. Peter Weir was the director, and Mel Gibson was a standout in this film. And what a movie. I mean, if you sit down and watch this and take it all in, you are really watching something special. So that's a great poster here as well. That's the Australian Anzac spirit in this film, Gallipoli, and a marvellous film about young men caught up in the perils of war. So moving right along, guys, we've got a great shot of Tom Burlinson there in The Man from Snowy River. We've got a terrifying moment from Friday the 13th, Part 2. We've got a double page on James Clavell's Shogun with Richard Chamberlain. That's quite a film, that one. And we've also got a Marilyn biopic here, The Untold Story. I mean, it used footage of Marilyn, this film. I've never seen it, actually, but it had the Marilyn in here. I mean, the real Marilyn, and also there was some recreations. There's a shot there of Catherine Hicks playing Marilyn. So that was Marilyn, The Untold Story, a very interesting little biopic in the early 80s. And we've got $1 Million Memories here with Catherine Grayson. And we've got Sly Stallone, of course. That's how he looked in Escape to Victory, that football film. And what a film that was. And we've got Flash Gordon. I mean, Flash Gordon keeps appearing in these magazines. It was really quite the film back in the early 80s. And we've got some movie books here. Shelley Winters, Stuart Granger, and others. And Movie Briefs is a feature of this magazine. And we've got some interesting shots here. I mean, we've got Donald Sutherland, Eye of the Needle. And we've even got a throwback to Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart. And, of course, we've got the very beautiful Nastassja Kinski in Tess. So we've got Caligula. I mean, how controversial was that? I mean, some cinemas didn't even want to play it. Helen Mirren was in that film also. And we've got an advertisement there for National. They were an electronics company. And we've also got The Killing of Angel Street. This was an Australian film, double page there. Got some more advertisements. And Arthur. I mean, what a film Arthur was with Dudley Moore, Liza Minnelli. That was a fantastic comedy. Also had a great song in there, The Moon in New York City. I mean, fantastic music, great film, full of laughs. They really had some chemistry, those two, and Dudley Moore, what a scene stealer. And we've got a soundtrack here, Gone with the Wind, The Elephant Man, Popeye and Nighthawks, a little soundtrack corner. And moving right along, we've got Return from Witch Mountain. Man, that looks like, that was Bette Davis, wasn't it? She came back for that film. And we've got a movie crossword. What else have we got at the back? Excalibur. I mean, the Knights of the Round Table. Excalibur was back. And that was a John Borman film. He brought us Deliverance, and this was his new one. And that was a fantastical little sword film. So we've also got Ringo Starr from the Beatles. This was when he was in actor's mode. He was in a very quirky film called Caveman. That also starred Dennis Quaid and Shelley Long. We've got a great poster here of Clash of the Titans and its all-star cast. Harry Hamlin, Burgess Meredith, Ursula Andress, and others, with fantastic special effects by Ray Harryhausen. So that rounds it out, guys. And again, cigarettes on the back. So that's it. Movie 81, number 3. Great cover with old Mel there. And what a great blast back in time that was. So there we have it, guys. Movie 81, number 3. A lot of very entertaining films in this one. Arthur with Dudley Moore. I mean, what a movie that was. It had them rolling in the aisles. And Gallipoli with Mel Gibson. If you haven't seen that, what a movie. Anyway, guys, keep watching the show. I mean, I'll be back with more movie magazines from Down Under. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And it was an absolute pleasure talking about this magazine, and I can't wait to talk about the next one. Until then, guys, take care. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is Retro Man, living the dream, 80s style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang and with more surprises than a jumping kangaroo. Please subscribe and good night, viewers.